But absolutely yes, meaning we are potentially 2 matches away from the Champions League. So obviously we will give more than 110%. We will give 200% because within our group, the coach and the management, we are aware that we are playing a Champions League semi-final, which is not something that happens every year, and it almost seems taken for granted outside this milestone we have reached. So we have a strong desire to play this match. We have great enthusiasm, great confidence in ourselves, and we can't wait for tomorrow night. Media set on the left. Hi Ale, Alessio Conti. Assuming there's nothing left to learn about Yamal by now, even though he's so young, what specifically did the first leg teach you? Because worrying about defending is always somewhat relative against this Barcelona. Yes, so we watched many videos before the first leg against Barcelona, but I think playing against them is the best way to understand the team's style of play. We will surely learn from the first leg. I think we made several mistakes in passing that could have then create some goal opportunities, certainly thanks to their style of play, but I think we can improve a lot. I repeat, we will make the most of the first leg to put them in difficulty. Sport Italia. Hi Ale, listen. You and also as a group have already experienced various international semi-finals or finals with the club or with the national team. We come to this after 10 days in which everything happened in the roller coaster of various event results. What does your heart tell you at this moment? Just like guys coming to this match. But I can only be proud of what our journey has been since the beginning of the season. We are really playing a lot. We care. And we care a lot about making a good impression, making happy all the people who support us, who make sacrifices for us. And that is also why I'm sorry that perhaps outside it's not perceived what every day we put into to perform at our best. We haven't had a day off for a long time because, I repeat, we are committed to doing well. And we have reached the end. There was a bit of a blackout week, but again, I can only thank this group for the seasons we are having. Tele Lombardia on the right. Hello, Ale. There's been a lot of talk about Yamal throughout the conference, and I asked, what would you like to see tomorrow at San Siro from the fans especially? If you want to say something to them for encouragement, we heard the other day in the curve saying, it will be necessary to give everything even from the stands. What do you expect from San Siro if you want to make a request to the fans? Thank you. No, but certainly there will be moments of great suffering tomorrow because the Barcelona game brings this to you, just like it was in the first leg. I expect it tomorrow as well. Certainly in those moments we will need it. We will need the push from all the Nerazzurri fans, considering on the field it's 11 against 11, so outside the fans should be as passionate as possible, while we need to maintain great composure inside to make the best possible decisions. Corriere della Sera. Alessandro, good afternoon. Have you set your mind to try to win the Champions, or do you have the 14th revenue in Europe? No one has managed to do that in the, let's call it, modern era. Does this excite you even more, leave you with doubts, or create excuses? No, certainly we are, as I said at the beginning, 2 matches away from winning the Champions League, so clearly it has become at this point a goal. We are in 14th place for revenue. This highlights the work done by the coach, by the club, because at the beginning of the season, no one could have said Inter was definitely one of the favorites for the Champions League. So, I repeat, as I said before, I'm very proud. And it is an honor for me to represent this club. Gazzetta dello Sport. Hello, Alessandro. Tomorrow 2 teams face each other. Different philosophies, right? In terms of play and also in terms of average age, there is a very, very large difference. And you, Pavard and Acerbi together have over 150 appearances in European Cups. Do you think that experience could be an advantage for you tomorrow? Well, there are 2 ways to look at it, because there can be their carefree attitude and our experience. So the truth, clearly, I still do not know. And we will definitely put all our capabilities on the field, both morally and physically. I repeat, the first leg gave us a great idea of what Barcelona is. and we will try to put them in difficulty tomorrow.
Corriere dello Sport, right here in front.
Here I am high. After reaching the final 2 years ago, the semi-final after having overcome Bayern Munich, should Inter now be considered a big team in Europe? Well, for what we have shown on the field, definitely yes. We have never hidden ourselves. We didn't do it at the beginning of the year. We certainly don't do it now. So I think that talk is useless, isn't it? The field always tells the truth. The field at this moment is saying this. So I think yes.
Tutto Sport behind. Yes, hello Alessandro. And if, according to some analysts, the Inter this year has prioritized the Champions League over other goals, primarily the championship, do you think it's true or not?
Well, I've never heard the coach say, don't put effort into the league because we have to win the Champions League. So, not, absolutely not. I repeat, we play. We've been playing continuously for years now, so I think a drop is absolutely physiological. That said, we are not 20 points behind the first in the league. And despite this, we are in the Champions League semi-finals. 2 games away from winning the trophy, so it is absolutely not the case.
The last two, FC Inter 1908. Go ahead. Hello, good afternoon. You have shown to be a very united group. How important is it for you to have a captain like Lautaro, both on the field and in the locker room, and how is he motivating the team in these very important days?
Yes, I've always said it when asked to speak that individually we're probably not among the top 4 in Europe. Only by coming together can we enhance our qualities. Lauti is definitely our leader on a moral and physical level, because we also know his importance on the field. More than motivating, I repeat, there's always this big tension, behind the matches. But I think if we look back, each of us dreamed of being on these stages to play games like these. So personally, I try more to enjoy it, let myself be carried by the emotions that lead me to tomorrow night.
Hello, good morning, Alessandro. From Barcelona, they have labeled Marciniak the referee for tomorrow as a Madrid supporter. And I wanted to ask what you think about this referee, who with you has a track record that is, let's say, not impressive. And if, still speaking about referees, the narrative of refereeing in Italy regarding Serie A resonates with you, if you think Inter has suffered more than one referee error there.
We've had Marciniak many times. He's a referee who, as you said, regardless of whether the result is favorable or not, I appreciate a lot because he's someone you can have a dialogue with firmly. So I actually appreciate him. As for Italy, no, I don't think the league was rigged or that there were major refereeing problems because, as I was saying before, the field is always what speaks and tells the truth.
Latest news, L'Equipe.
Yes, good morning. Good morning, Alessandro. A question about your teammate, Pavard, from left centre-back to right centre-back. He has played 50 Champions League matches, 40 wins, 6 draws, 4 losses. The best record ever for a player who has played 50 matches. I don't think it's a coincidence, and I don't know if you've noticed over these 2 years. If you see that precisely before the Champions matches, he has a different approach. By the way, maybe he's the only one who has won the Champions, right? In the squad, so I don't know if it's a beacon. And Arnautovic 15 years ago, good, yes. I hope he can reach 42 wins overall because it would mean we won the trophy. Well, certainly Benji was a great acquisition he gave us. He gave us a great experience. He won the Champions League, a World Cup, so I don't need to say what kind of player he is. Let's hope he can come back to help us from now until the end.
Thank you, Alessandro Bastoni. Let's start with questions for our coach, Simone Inzaghi. And we begin with the question from Rai Sport here in front of me.
Hello, Simone.
Hello, good morning.
There is only one coach in Inter's history who has reached 2 Champions League semi-finals, and that is Helenio Herrera, along with you. Ale talked about giving 200% tomorrow. Herrera relied heavily on conviction for much of his success. How convinced are you, even after the first leg match, that you can achieve this dream?
But in short, we all know the importance of tomorrow night's game. Alessandro was right when he spoke about our fans and the group in response to the question. We will have to perform greatly against a very strong team that we have experienced firsthand because we have watched many videos. We have seen their strength, and it will take a great Inter, focused, attentive, lucid, because we are facing a very strong team, Mediaset.
Hi, Simone. You already knew Barcelona, but you faced them, watched a lot of videos, as you mentioned, these days especially. Did you notice some things that maybe you hadn't perceived before facing them? And how much will Lautaro's desire to play tomorrow affect it?
Well, regarding Lautaro and Pavard, we will decide in short, together with the medical staff, together with the players themselves, because they will be the ones that will have to tell me their own feelings. Yesterday, Pavard did the first part of training, the feelings were decent, so we will see. Lautaro hasn't trained since the Barcelona game. Today we will see how he is, and then as for the first leg of the match, in my opinion, we played a great game where there were moments where we needed to do better, both in possession and out of possession. We needed to try to play the ball better, even though they are very good at counter-pressing. So the opponent definitely created a lot of difficulties for us, but I think that the team played an excellent game. Focused, clear-headed, and tomorrow we must do the same, knowing that after the first leg result, it will practically be a final in front of our fans, where the draw, it will not be the final result. There will be a winner, maybe even going through extra time and eventually penalties. Sport Italia,
Hi, Simone.
bye.
Listen, this season there's a somewhat similar situation of Barcelona in the cup against Atletico Madrid. They had a 4-4 at home, and it was said, well, Barcelona scores 150 goals and concedes many. But then in the return match, it was a different game. With a defensive approach against Barcelona, you won only 1-0. Yes.
I was asking you, I ask if you expect the same bold Barcelona as in the first leg, or if you think that situation could be repeated. And then I ask, what feeling do you seem to perceive from the group at this moment?
Well, the team believes in it, is eager, is waiting for this match with the right tension, training well. Then, regarding Barcelona, well, in the league they have 81% possession. In the Champions it's 76. So now, I don't know about the Copa del Rey, but it doesn't change much from the league or from the Champions. It's a team that we know very well the quality it has in possession, the skill in pressing. We know that in defense they risk something, but it's a very well calculated risk by an excellent coach, whom I respect a lot, like Fleck, because, well, it is the most prolific team in the world. So they have already won 2 titles. They are competing for 2 more. So we know that we will definitely need a great Inter.
Tele Lombardia, here on the right. Hi, Coach. Good morning. How much has the final in Istanbul stayed with you? I remember that during that period, many non-Inter fans I met on the street would tease me a bit and say, after 5 minutes, Haaland will score 3 against you. And then in the end, there was Guardiola on his knees during the match. An extraordinary match. I think all the Inter fans, but also Ale and the others, still have it in their minds. How much has it stayed with you and the guys to go and seek an achievement? I believe no one would have ever imagined it at the end of the season.
Well, certainly we still have that thought. It's still inside us, you know. It was a difficult night to digest in the end because a great match had been played, but now the memories, it's fair in my opinion always. Do not forget, but live in the present. Live for the match, tomorrow's match. That was part of the journey we have taken together in these 4 years, together. To my players, to our management, to our fans, and we want to continue. As said, first, even Basto, we are two matches away from a potential trophy. With all the difficulties we encountered, we talked basically. We brought Inter to be first in the rankings. We started 16th or 17th 4 years ago. So in my opinion, we have made great progress that we clearly want to continue because tomorrow night's match will be very important.
Corriere della Sera. Can you tell me something in particular that gives you confidence for tomorrow? Maybe a glimpse you've seen behind the scenes among the guys, something that makes you feel it could be a great evening.
Well, how they trained yesterday to tell you after a match with Verona, which also seemed like an easy match, since we came 2 days after the match in Barcelona, where we returned at 4:30 in the morning. The concentration of those who came in, for many players who rested, given the physical and mental effort from the Barcelona match. Yesterday we showed up after Verona, and those who hadn't played worked even more. The others were already very willing, no? All ready for the work just a few hours after the Verona match. This work is the first thing. Fortunately, in these 4 years, I can't say anything against these guys.
Gazzetta dello Sport, please. Here we are, mister. No, a personal question. I wanted to understand if you feel the sense of history. I mean, Herrera was mentioned earlier, right? I mean, you could become the second coach to take Inter to the final twice. I mean, how do you personally experience the approach to this match on an emotional level?
Well, it's normal that these are exciting matches, records and titles are pleasing. Clearly, we work for this, but also the satisfactions repay you for everything. At the beginning of the season, every year, every team tries to win everything, not by grace received, but for the work behind it. And we are doing so also. Also this year, without having made choices or preferring one competition over another, but with work every day. This team tries to do it, to give satisfaction to these fans, because they are always with us and have never failed to support us.
Corriere dello Sport.
Hello.
Speaking of Lautaro, a player like him who is on the fence about recovering or not, considering that there might be extra time, is it better for him to start the match, or would you prefer to keep him on the bench and use him later in the game?
It will also depend on his feelings, you know. A player who cannot start from the beginning is difficult then to be able to. He can help us for the last 25 minutes, because clearly today's training sensations will be very, very important for Lauti, for Pavard, knowing that if needed we have players, because yes, Pavard was not in Barcelona. Lautaro had to leave at the end of the first half. With a season like we had this year, unfortunately, we always had many absences, just like other teams have had. In short, we've seen Barcelona, Bayern Munich, to talk about the latest ones that we faced in the Champions League. So we have a well-equipped squad, and we'll see. Well, after today's training, tomorrow morning we will muscle awakening. There I will make the decisions, always trying to do what is best for Inter, as I have tried to do in these 4 years.
Tutto Sport. So yesterday was an unforgettable day for the family. I wanted to understand if you talk to each other, what you said with people, and if the idea intrigues you to give your dad, Giancarlo, 3 days, like the movie Bruce Almighty, 3 days of Almighty.
Well, that would please me a lot. Indeed, I clearly made it to people. The compliments 5 minutes after the end of the match. In short, I gave them to him. In private, now I publicly congratulate him, but not just him. I think of his staff, his organization, the players, because they have done something extraordinary, bringing Pisa back to Serie A after 34, 35 years. It's a place that deserves it, and they have had an extraordinary journey. Well, they clearly didn't start among the favorites, but already this summer, when we had the friendly match, I noticed that there was a great chemistry between the team, the staff, and the fans. And such promotions do not happen by chance, but there is a lot of work behind them.
Repubblica at the bottom
Hello.
left. Well, they stole my question about people. Another great forward, Lewandowski. I wanted to ask you, Barcelona is very strong, but it's a bit different when Lewandowski is there and when he's not. I mean, in one case, there's the center forward in the area. In the other case, they slip in. The fact of not knowing whether Lewandowski will play or not, did it force you in a sense to prepare 2 games, or is the preparation for the game just that one?
Well, we definitely know Lewandowski. I certainly consider him among the 3 or 4 strongest strikers, strongest in the world, but we are playing against Barcelona. In the first leg, Ferran Torres played, who had a great game. The first 3 matches of the season where they played without Lewandowski and won all 3 matches with 5 goals. So we're talking about a top striker, but also an equally strong team. So he will be closely watched. Lewandowski, just like Yamal, just like all the Barcelona players, because it is definitely one of the strongest teams in the world.